There's that too.
My
Yeah.
my. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's me, RDV, with Zach. Tonight we were talking about the books that we actually bought this week, and it's the best of the week.
Woohoo!
On Tuesday nights, we usually do our top fives. We take 5 books from our pull list, the 5 books that we think are going to be the best books of the week. So, with that being said, we're gonna show off all the books we got, and then I'm doing from least to my least favorite to favorite, and we'll see if my books for my predictions actually made it into the top 5 of my books. So with that being
And
said,
let us, and while we're doing that, while we're showing off our books, let us know what books you got this week as well. Did you get any of the same books we're showing off? Did you get something different you think we should know about? Let us know as well, because this isn't just all about us. We want to know what y'all are reading too.
And if you just joined us, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Every like, or if you don't like this, hit the dislike. Every interaction helps us, man. All right, I'm gonna go first.
Go for it.
All right. I like the bigger screen.
That's all right. It's mini me.
I feel more important. Right,
okay.
Right.
You can feel whatever you want to. Facts don't care about your feelings.
Facts. Wow.
Yeah, Ed Brewer, don't worry about it. It's okay. So one of us had to go on a corn dog time.
Yeah, I didn't think you guys want to see him putting a corn dog in his mouth repeatedly. It was
Yeah.
it was a little weird.
Come on, it wasn't that weird. No, Sonic had 50-cent corn dogs today, so I had to go get some for dinner.
He stared at me the whole entire time while he was doing it. He was really licking it. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Well, now I'm gonna do that next time.
Please don't.
I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
All right, so I'm going with my least favorite books of the week.
Go for it.
Might as well. And this is for you, Ed. It's Jennifer Blood.
Oh, is that a
cover.
cosplay?
Yep, great cosplay cover.
That's all right. It's one of the better ones, yeah.
Yeah. So the cosplay cover is great, but the book itself is not great at all. That's why at the bottom of the list. Yeah, I might say I don't know what else to say about it. It's not even Jennifer Blood. It's her daughter. They never explain what happened to the mother, who actually was Jennifer Blood, the real killer. I know it's like, oh my. Yep.
Oh my.
Yeah. So yeah, they never explain what happened to the mother exactly in the original series, because the original writer was Garth Ennis first. He wrote the first like 26 books or more. Then Stephen Grant came on and wrote Jennifer Blood. First Blood was the other. I think it was the next series that went for 5 issues, and then after that they decided to let's just bring in another Jennifer Blood 2019, and people won't care what's in that book.
Well, that's how I feel about that gun hunting cover too. It's like, who cares about the book?
That's probably the only book that I thought was actually kind of like not as entertaining, because the interior art is horrible. But really? The cover was great, and I was like, you know what? I have most of the books already, so I might as well. It's going to end soon anyway. I'll just get the cosplay covers. All right, my next book is, and this is actually a book I really enjoyed. But I have so many books. I have like 13 books, so it was really hard to pick the what I like, the most.
RDV had a busy week. Oh,
Venom.
That tongue, though, man. Jeez, I don't miss that.
This is the variant cover. I'm not forgot who did it.
Michelini, huh?
It's Michelini. Is the writer.
You mean the cover? Give me a second. I'll find out.
But wow, this is still a good book. But I had so many other books above it that were actually a lot better. And I do still recommend that you pick these up. This is Venom versus Humbug. And then you also had a few other characters pop up in here as well.
That is Scarecrow. Wow, that's a name. Scarecrow Oven?
Yeah, it was a weird name.
Yeah.
That's why I just remember Scarecrow. I was like, oh, Jonathan Crane drew this.
That's a pretty sweet cover, though.
In this issue, basically this series, it's I can't remember the original Lethal Protector, but he finds out that his wife is getting married. His ex-wife is getting married to somebody. So it's kind of in line with the Tom Hardy a little bit in that sense. I'm not, because I never really read all the way through the Elite Protector. It's been a while. The book came out mid 90s, early 90s,
early to mid 90s, I think.
Yeah. So actually so it's actually the original writer from the series back in the day, taking it, basically continuing the story. More I can say about it, it's really good. And
right on.
We do have a special guest tonight. He took a break from watching the Kings lose. It is Skip and Tosh.
Poor Skip with those Kings, man.
Hey, we're winning right now. We won the lottery, okay? So we went from the 7th pick to the 4th pick, so we're doing pretty good. How's it going, everybody?
All right. Are you watching from like 10 years ago? Are you watching a whole rerun?
I'm watching from 10 hours ago. That just happened, my friend. King's luck is on the rise. Hi, everybody in the chat.
What's up, Twin? How you doing, man?
What's up, Twin? Always good to see you.
Maybe they meant a hockey. It wasn't basketball.
I don't even know what a hockey is, so it had to be basketball.
It's a Canadian, eh?
It's a Canadian.
Yeah. So you only missed 2 books that I showed off.
I think I saw a Venom book. What do we got next?
Oh, Thor. You got this. That's right. You said you got the Campbell.
The Campbell one. This is the normal Campbell, the variant. There was some incentive covers, a little different.
Look at that. He can draw the beefcake as well as the cheese.
Look at the beard and everything. I was like, oh, he's swinging the hammer and just
the biceps. Yeah.
This is Campbell. Like I said, I like Scott Campbell's art. Whether he's drawing guys or drawing women, the guy knows how to draw. And I just love, like, look at the hammer.
Yeah, the motion lines behind it. Yeah. That's pretty.
I almost got the other one with had Throg on it, but I saw James Foster and I said, you know what? I just can't get it. I can't support that crap. But then again, if people like that, go ahead. But this has 3 stories in there. The first story, it was actually really good. The second story, I'm trying to remember who the other writer was. I think it was because Tom DeFalco did the second story.
Tom DeFalco was the second one.
Yeah, I like that. The Enchantress one was good. The last one, the art was bad and the story wasn't that good.
Yeah, I didn't care. I'm not going to interrupt you.
That's why it's not as high up on the pile. Like I said, I got some more books that were really good.
Mm-hmm.
Still check it out, Thor. And it's continuation what happened from Thor versus Hulk. Fight number 2551.
Shh! Don't ruin our fun. Don't ruin the illusion of fun, Vinkman.
The illusion of fun. Is it really fun if it's illusion?
No, I mean yes. Don't play mind games with me.
Hell, Sonya, the final issue.
I
liked it. I went back and I read all 5 stories, basically the first 4 stories before this to get a feel of the story, and it kind of had a lackluster ending. Up with that though, it was pretty good, and I got Skip's favorite cosplayer.
Oh, that is the cosplay cover. Okay,
Gracie. So
looking pretty good.
Not bad. You know they got the new Sonya series. I think it's like Samurai Sonya. I've been seeing advertisements for.
There's supposed to be one that came out. It was Kickstarter. That was another one that came out.
Oh, there's one. I think it's Samurai Sonya. I have to find out.
There's Sitha, but it's not Sonya though.
I'll let you know.
Next book is Nyx, issue 6. Art has actually been pretty good in these stories. This one, she ends up basically her father, the Mad Chaos Lord, or it tricked her. They made a bargain. He wouldn't kill her, he'd spare her, but she had to take care of his children. Turns out he went and he tricked her. He has 5 different babies from different women in the past stuff. Each have different powers. So now she's stuck basically being a mother against her will. And she's not a hero. She's like an antagonist. So now she's screwed over. And now so I'm curious what the next issue is going to be, because it's up to this point, it's been pretty funny. Unlike Draculina, which has been kind of weird. Draculina is Christopher Priest writing that.
Priest. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I understand why you're not liking it as much.
I mean, I was talking to LK about this the other day. Priest, in every opening of Draculina, he writes about how much he hates California. I mean, he went for skills, and he just talks about it. It's like, oh, now it's just like, it's just like, man, California just can't get any love.
What are you talking about? There's a song literally called California Love, Tupac. Thanks, Tupac and Dr. Dre.
Yeah, what happened to Tupac?
Hey, that happened in Vegas. That didn't happen in California. He caught that Las Vegas hate instead of the California love.
There you go.
She's saying he gambled wrong.
Pretty much.
He bet on the wrong horse.
But before you go to your Shadow War, I had a question about Nyx. So, does it seem like this is a new arc from issue 6 and that the last arc ended at issue 5, or does it seem like they're just kind of going through and not really
they're continuing it, but it's also a new arc as well. Because the whole thing was she was trying to balance her humanity, because she's half demon, half human. So, and she wanted to overthrow her dad, kill him because he's such an evil prick and a demon. But then she realized that if she kills him, then she becomes the mad god, and the people who come with the chaos god go mad. It's just part of the title. You become crazy. So she didn't want to take it. So she thought she'd train one of the other offspring, her siblings, to kill him, take his place. But it turned out that guy just got ripped right in half, like Sentry. Everywhere.
Wow.
So yeah, I was like, that was actually kind of cool. I was like, I didn't expect that,
Yeah. I like Christos Gage, so I was just curious of how they were handling the arcs and stuff. So thanks for that.
So I think the next book will be continue the story, but I mean, like I said, it's the subplot. It'll still be there. Shadow War was another big title that came out this week, and this
I like that cover. That's a cool cover.
There was the original cover, and I like this because I had the floating heads for Breen.
Yeah, well, it's the Days of Future Past homage, which I've always loved that homage.
This features Black Canary and Oracle. Black Canary, she's, because what happened in the Deathstroke Inc., she blames herself for letting Deathstroke get away and just basically killing Roz. So this takes place right around, I think, Robin, or just before the second part. So, and because she basically gets stopped by one of her former enemies, and who is also working for Talia, and basically they go against each other, and so now she has to go to Nepal, because she's gonna go and try and stop Deathstroke, but also because she wants to, because she basically it was interesting because I thought they would have had Oliver in this, but it actually brought in Black Canary, and Black Canary, the interior art on this was actually really good.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is I forgot who's writing this. I think I want to say it's Joshua Williamson still on this. Don't quote me, because I know Josh Williamson's been doing the Shadow War and stuff, doing the Batman stuff, and sometimes DC throws in other writers. But I think Jeremy Adams might be part of this too. I'm not sure.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you have to look up.
That'd be worth looking into. Let me see.
But it has 2 other stories in there too. It's a multi-story. It's a bigger, thicker book. I liked it. This next book has actually been a book that a lot of people are just hating on it. It's by a writer who basically is known for writing these kind of books, but people keep forgetting that that's the way these books are meant to be. Hit me, issue 3.
I knew it. I knew who you were talking about
right away.
Before you even put it up. Yeah.
This gets, like I said, cheesecake galore, man. Every issue is like that. It's continue on. It advances the plot more. I think the next 2 books. I mean, the next book might be a filler. I'm not sure. Hopefully not, because climax is gonna be at the end. That was for you, Skip.
I appreciate you.
It's actually been a really good book. I don't know why people don't like it. She's an unlikable person, but so is nobody else in there. It's the whole point of the book. You're not supposed to fall in love with people there. It's kind of like a Brubaker book. You're not supposed to support anybody.
Exactly. You're just supposed to follow along with the story and see how it plays out.
Yeah. It's definitely not for kids. It's very adult.
Yeah, don't say.
They don't even show the nudity. They don't even show nudity in it. If I remember. But
okay.
Wait. In this issue, there's nudity.
I think they show her behind it, but I'm sorry.
No.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Breen, you're thinking about Pixel. He's not old enough to read this.
No,
I'm a little bit older. I have facial hair. I trimmed it down. It's still here though. I still got some scruff.
I don't know. This might not be Zach approved.
Might not be.
So
I'm married. I'm not allowed to look at books like that.
Yeah, it's definitely not Zach approved.
I mean, it's not a Playboy or anything like that. I think she'd be fine. You know, I don't think your wife will get that mad. You know, but then again, I don't know her.
Stay away from it, Zach.
I'm gonna err on the side of caution.
Listen to your twin here.
You make it sound like she's gonna abuse you, like hit you, beat you up if you like look at anything.
I'm gonna have a sign on my back that says "Hit me" if I read.
Just don't be that guy that looks at the other girl and the wife looks at him.
Yeah, right. That picture. No.
Yeah. Next book is actually a book that was very controversial this week, and last week too, because people were taking it out of context, especially a panel.
Yep.
Yeah. And it definitely was taken out of context. They were not posting the whole entire page. The whole thing was that Bruce and Anton are competing for this. They'll be the win the competition against. Basically, you have to really reveal this or get this Russian ledger from the and Anton's been winning the game so bad because Anton is a smooth talker. Either he basically bribes people or he uses his winning charm. And Bruce kept losing. So at the end, Bruce was going to lose again this time because Anton had got the ledger. He decided, to play on Anton's game too, and he kind of like pouted a little bit. Anton came over to kind of like comfort him, and then he kind of like he basically played his emotions because Anton is obviously bisexual. And the funny thing about that is Anton, people are rumoring it's saying that's Ghostmaker. Because this takes place before he became Batman, and this is the person that's been training with him, competing against him. So if this is Ghostmaker, then Ghostmaker is confirmed to be at least bisexual. But who really cares about Ghostmaker? Anyway, so Bruce played him, and he got the ledger off him. And Anton's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, gotcha, bro."
Gotcha.
It's actually a really good issue. I really recommend people pick up this series. Zdarsky is doing a good job writing this. The interior art's been great, and like I said, I understand that a lot of people are like, because the lady who basically they're learning from, she's basically like the chameleon. She's good at creating faces, putting it all and posing other people. So they're learning how to do espionage and stuff. And she says like, "Oh, I'll take you guys back to my cave." And some people were saying online, "Oh, so that's where they got the idea for the Bat Cave, because this woman has her own like place where she can be her own." And I'm like, yeah, 60 years of comics, and that's where they got the idea for the Bat Cave. Great people. So yeah, check it out. This is issue 5. It's halfway over. You can pick up the compendium. There's issues 1 through 3 already, which is really weird seeing these come out.
That's weird, yeah.
So if you missed the first 2 issues, if they're sold out, here's 1 through 3 in one like little thicker book, prestige book. I was like, okay, whatever. I didn't get it because I was like, if I'm going to get this in a trade, it's going to be in a hardcover.
Nice.
All right. We're actually almost there to I think we're at my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My top 5.
But top 5.
So we're going to get to my top 5 here. This is the bottom of the 5. Bell. This is the Labyrinth. This story, every issue I read with this character, there's humor, action, suspense, and it's really balanced out well. The writing is good, and I can't remember what to say about this. It's everybody thinks like, oh, it's Xenoscope. That's the Cheesecake books. Hardly from Cheesecake. It's actually this more action, suspense, and once upon a time you could have done something like this, but you chose not to. You chose to go the other way. So yeah, it's just funny that this is Belle. This is the one who went against Beauty and the Beast, and they turned her into pretty much like the Huntress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
All right, my number 4.
Number 4. Nice.
Stargirl, Earth Prime. This is based off the show comic book. It's tied to all the other books. it was a really good story. I mean, they went on camping, and they're going sightseeing, you know, and it just felt like every character was from the show, the way their personalities are. They even get throwback to the old, the what is it they call the Seven Soldiers of Victory?
Yeah,
and even there's one of the villains in here that comes basically to confront them. He's called the Needler. He can shoot needles from his hand and stuff. And from fighting the old days, he's like, always ironic that, you know, he said, like, you know, Stripes, you know, like, you know, he's like, Pat, there was 8 of you, but yet you guys always said you're 7 soldiers. He's like, yeah, he's like, I don't understand the name either. It's like, it just kind of went with it. You know, so there's some light humor in this too. The son, Mike, you know, he's like, they're like, you know, like, and Pat's like, you know, and like, come on, let's go for a hike. He's like, no, I'm going to stay by the RV because there's Wi-Fi. It's like, he didn't want to leave. He's like, you know, he's like, come on, we're doing this as a family. He's like, we've been driving for 8 hours as a family. I want some alone time. So, and the wife, you know, the wife decides to stay back home and, like, you know, or not home, but stay at the RV and read her book. And you know, you get to see what's it, Courtney riding the basically the cosmic ride around, flying around, and just having fun and like give joy rides. And her dad's just, you know, just Pat's just looking at it. It's like supposed to be walking time now. No more riding. It's like joy rides. He's like, oh. Yeah, it's a really good story. I mean, surprisingly, and apparently these are all connected together. I didn't realize they were all going to be. I thought they're going to be standalone. But there's Magog is the villain, who's trying to recruit villains, I guess, apparently, if I did this issue, to go to the Arrowverse, because that's right, this isn't part of the Arrowverse. They confirmed, you know, because they like, you need. So I thought, I was like, yes, thank you for confirming that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Sad for people like Arrowverse, but Arrowverse is dead now. They CW confirmed that it killed every show pretty much.
It should have died after season 2 of Arrow. That was the best season of any of those shows.
Season 2 was pretty baller.
Oh, so good.
Number 3, Life Zero. This book just gets more heart wrenching every issue. The last issue, he lost his daughter. He gets a little bit of revenge on that too. And they're just trying to make way to this military base, you know, and he loses somebody else close to him at the end of this issue. It's just like heartbreaking after another. The art is fantastic. If you those who read Snow Angels by Jacques and Jeff Lemire, and you see the snow and stuff, it's the same art with Chachado doing that, you know, driving through a abandoned city, you know, deserted, you know, cars and the snow everywhere, it's snowing. And like I said, it's just, I'm all set. I mean, I want this to be. I'm not. How many issues it's gonna be? It doesn't say. It says it's only issue 4, so I'm hoping it's gonna be like, you know, I want to like give me 50 issues, man. Ongoing. Yeah. So this is I cannot praise it anymore. It's Marco Chachado, or as Evil Black Cat said, Marco Chachito.
Evil Black Cat's hilarious.
I know.
Isn't he though?
Yeah.
All right, my top 2 of the week. There's only 2 books I haven't showed off, and Zach probably knows what they are. If he doesn't know.
Yeah, I know one of them off the top of my head for sure.
But he doesn't know which one's in order.
I bet you I know. I bet you I do. I bet you I do. I bet you Flash is number 2 and World's Finest. No. I bet you World's Finest is number 2 and Flash is number 1.
Is that your final answer? Are you betting your status on this?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. World's Finest, then Flash.
Are you gambling your guest status on this?
Why not? I don't have anything else.
All right. Zach is no longer a guest.
Doggone it! I thought you were trying to psych me out. The final answer question.
Number 2 is the Flash.
We cover though.
Jeremy Adams. Another good story involving Wallace again. It's just, you know, they go to Iron Heights this time, and, you know, they defeat one of the villains, and they realize that something's going on at Iron Heights, like the bigger story, and just they get to wear their stealth suits. If anybody watched Young Justice, when he had the black suit on, the black Flash suit on, they're wearing these in this.
Oh, awesome!
That's awesome. I was like, yes, and I'm always all excited. He's like, I've never broken into a prison before. It's like one of my top things to crawl through a vent. He's like, and Wallace is like, we're breaking into a prison. Like, that's up there too. It's like he's just so excited. It is. It's just like I said. It's just so great. The read story by somebody who gets the character, and those who read the Mike Barry and the Mark Waid stuff. It's the same Wally from post crisis DC. It's great. At the end, Wally still doesn't know that Linda has powers, but Wallace does now, and so do the kids. So that being said, where's Fable's You Uncultured Swine?
I was about to say.
That's coming up later with Zach's poll.
Spoilers. Jeez.
World's Finest. It needs to continue. It's another series. It just amazes me. This is Mark Waid, the guy who's a huge dick, in person, character.
Good way to start that with.
Yeah. No, it's Silver Age craziness. Faust in here, is all the villains. It's Robin, and you have Supergirl, you have Batman, Superman, the Doom Patrol. General Mortis is in this. General freaking Mortis. I mean, if this is your number one book, I'll be shocked. I know, Skip. I'll give you exception because you're not a Cape guy, but out of all the Cape books this week, this is the best.
People continue to sing its praises. I do appreciate Dan Mora's art. So
that's thing. It said the more really art is phenomenal on this too. Like, yeah, it said the story, the pacing is and it's written like a Silver Age book. The craziness, time travel, all this stuff, magic. It's like I said, it's crazy. And Superman throws a batarang, and Bruce is like, how do you know? It's like, well, I listened for a fourth heartbeat. That's why I knew it was all magic, thing. He's like, you could have went pro, after he threw the battering, it hit Faust in the shoulder. He's like a little joke about it. So it's kind of cool.
I noticed something. Can you put that back up for just a second? Earlier, because I've been reading through Rom V Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
And I was and earlier I realized how much I appreciate the new like masthead, specifically the graphics where it's got like DC and then it's got the number of issues for the series. Yeah. But I just noticed that doesn't have an end number to it. It just says 3.
Yeah, I think that one. I think it's supposed to be an ongoing instead of a limited series.
I love the fonts too.
I'm all for. I'm at the point now with the limited series where it's like, okay, should I get this or should I just wait for the inevitable trade to come out 8 months later? So I like that an ongoing series is good.
The attention to detail.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's overall a great cover, but no, it was just exciting to see that because we all. Most of us thought that Mark Waid would never work at DC again, and if he did, we didn't think it would be any time this decade. So for him to be back and they didn't even test him out with a limited to see how people responded to it. They went straight.
I didn't think Johns was going to be back. Johns is back on the
same. Yeah, we didn't think Jeff Johns was going to be back either. But they even gave Jeff Johns a little. Well, I don't want to say a little less rope, but to see Mark Waid have a series that's just ongoing right out the gate. It's pretty awesome, and to see that people are responding to it very well is surprising and refreshing.
It just goes to show you when you actually allow good writing, it sells.
Yeah,
because look at what we're getting in some of these other titles. The main going Superman title is not. I guarantee is not as good as this. Not
Superman or Action Comics, because I've heard Action Comics has been slapped.
I haven't read Action Comics, but I'd say the Superman title Kal-El.
Okay.
Because Jonathan is a good character, but I don't think he's not being written justly. He's not getting what he should get, and he should not be Superman. He should be Superboy. He should earn the title, just like Connor earned our love. Connor started out he's like
a weird way to phrase it. Yeah.
Well, no, Connor when he first started out, as a clone. He had the red pants on, the leather jacket and stuff, and he was just hitting on girls left and right. And then he matured out. Now he just wears a t-shirt and the jeans. Over the years.
Not to mention that he died too. I think that.
Yeah. I know, but I'm just saying. He didn't go into the role. He didn't jump right away into the role Superboy.
Right.
Yeah, so, he didn't hit the sky flying.
Like I said, I always said Jonathan
Kent crawling.
Jonathan Kent should have been trained by Connor.
That
should have mentored, them working together. Just like we have Wally and Wallace working together.
That would have been interesting.
I like that idea.
I would have read that.
Yeah,
but they don't want to do Superman.
Yeah.
All right, so that's my favorite book of the week. Skip, since you're here, you're joining us. Do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I only got one new book this week.
That's okay. We're here to show off what we thought were the best books of the week, but also our hauls.
Yep. So I got Hit Her, because don't hit me. I got Hit Me by Krista Faust, Priscilla Petratus, and Marco Lesko on the colors. Big fan of Marco Lesko.
You can only hit her if you have money.
Yes, which I have none. So, but and you can't hit me for money because I don't do that. But yeah, really enjoy this story. I liked Priscilla's art from back when me and RDV were going through Chariot by Brian Edward Hill. Yeah. So that was my first time reading a book with her art in it. Really enjoyed it. This story continues to be interesting of a lady who's basically a sex worker, and the way that she like can't feel like her pain sensory levels are like super low. So basically most people hire her to beat her up, and
she's like Kick-Ass.
Yeah, kind of.
I know, right? when I learned that, I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Kick-Ass."
Yeah, so people pay her by the bruise, but something goes bad with like one of her clients, and then her bodyguard tries to jump in and help. Bodyguard kind of / love interest. She gets him into some trouble, so now she's in a situation where she's trying to get him out. And the further down the rabbit hole we go, it does give you the sense of like the underbelly. That's the part that gives you Brubaker vibes. But outside of that, it's not like that. You pretty much go deeper down the kink rabbit hole, because like every person that she has to go to talk to next is either like a more client, corrupt person, or like a kinkier client that she has that has more information. So and no, there was major nip in this. There was nip on multiple pages.
I read it yesterday.
Like, so I don't know. No, they must have gave you the censored version. You must have went to Walmart to buy your CD instead of going to
books. What?
Somebody took a Sharpie to his copy.
I got mine at the grocery store. Okay.
No, I'm just saying, like, remember how when we used to go buy CDs, like if you wanted to find the censored version, Walmart always had the censored versions. You bought your car from Walmart. You got the censored version. You should have went to what was it used to be called? Something warehouse. What was the old music store? I don't know. You should have went to FYE and bought your CD.
Yeah, there was Camelot music back in the day.
I miss FYE. That was a good
I miss FYE too. FYE was awesome. So that was good. Now I'm gonna share this one just because I bought it last week, but I didn't read it until this week.
Nice.
I got that Moonlight, Black, White, and Blood.
Did you feel my same kind of a gripe with the issue?
Man, I really tried hard not to. But even it started off with the limitation of the 3 hues or 2 shades in a color, if you will. It started off not impacting the story too much. But by the time you get to halfway through, it starts to muddy up. It becomes indistinguishable on exactly what you're seeing, because it's already futuristic. And it's Chris Boccello, right?
Yeah, I think it's Boccello. Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually like his art, but I do agree that with the limitation of the colors, it makes things more indistinguishable. So kind of how he's like a little angular and scratchy with his lines. You kind of really don't, and it's already futuristic, so you're seeing technology that like it's hard for our brains to put together what it actually is.
It was the cave scene for me when they go into the moon.
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, just put. I want a cartoon in the cloud. That's what I want, and this punching and this. At least I can see something where the thought bubbles are.
Right, and there's a little bit of there's a little bit of a Jonah that kind of happens. It's Jonah and the whale.
Yeah.
And it's hard to tell, like what you're seeing and when things change because of how the colors are. But outside of that, Overall, like I mostly bought it because Hickman wrote a story, and
That's
the
why we
Hickman
got
story,
it.
right? And it was pretty good. But I don't know. Hickman does better with comedy, like in a long run. Sometimes, like I've noticed he's been doing that kind of lately with Decorum as well, where he wants to infuse a little bit of heart. He doesn't want to be known as just like the cerebral, super, like heady type of guy. But then when he kind of throws it in there, it's like, okay, yeah, I get you're trying to be sweet, and I don't want to be like, I don't accept you trying to be sweet, but like it doesn't always feel natural. It does feel a little forced sometimes, but nonetheless, pretty solid book. I am going to read the Mark Guggenheim story.
Okay.
I did like the Guggenheim.
The last story goes backwards. Just to let you know.
So. It's like a manga. You start on the right page and you go right to left.
Okay, all right. I'll read some manga, so I can get down with that.
It was really weird, the last page, because it goes reverse. It tells the story in reverse. I was just like, what? So the events happen, the ending happens first, and then it goes. I was like, are you kidding me? Because I was reading halfway through. I was like, what is this crap? And then I realized, oh, it's going freaking backwards. I was like, God.
Yep. Gotta read it the other way.
So that once I read it the correct way, going from the last page stuff, I was like, oh, now it makes more sense. Because I was like, what? Because it's not clear at first, the dialogue, until you see halfway through, and they're like, oh, okay, now I understand. It's like,
I gotta read it the other way. All right, and then lastly, I did get one other comic last week. I got Grimm, mostly like Stephanie Phillips, Flaviano, and Rico Renzi. Rico's a homie of mine, so I got Grimm just to support. I haven't read it yet, so I don't quite know what it's about. I did see some previews of it, and I really like Rico's colors, and I appreciate Flaviano, but I only half know what the story is about, and it's an interesting premise, but I will save that for later.
The one panel preview I saw, it reminded me of that one book, the one you liked, by that Italian writer, with the girl was in the skeleton costume.
Oh, Carmen by
yeah. It kind of
Guillaume March, who he's the artist on Joker with James Tynion.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of when I saw that, I was like, I wonder if it's something like that that's gonna go on, because it's like a grim, and the character's supposed to be dead. And I was like, oh, is it gonna go this, or is it gonna like make you think that and go somewhere else?
That's what I'm curious about. I'm gonna have to get in to read it to find out. But I mean, if they get anywhere close to Carmen, they will be doing themselves a favor, because that was an awesome book. If y'all have not read Carmen by Guillaume March, check it out. It's unlike most things that you've read. A little wordy because it's translated from I think it's from French to English. But anyway, look, I'm just going to tell y'all now. If you're not, this is one of my favorite comics that's coming out right now, and I'm sad that as of right now it's not going to go past 6 issues. But Behemoth Comics, I tried to do You Promised Me Darkness, and it annoyed me. Interesting premise, but it really, 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 really annoyed me that the writer like kind of kept going around on this, Valley Girl type motif that bugged me. So I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to read another Behemoth book again. And then I was going through the solicits and I saw a title. I didn't even see the publisher, but it just said Heavy Metal Drummer. And I said, I don't care what this is about. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy issue 1. I'm just going to figure it out, because I'm just a sucker for anything that has to do with music. But let me tell you, this does not have very much to do with music. When music comes in, it is significant to the plot. Like it plays a cool role in the plot. But this book is freaking bat crap nuts. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
Is this the one with the haunted house?
No, that is a Homesick Pilots.
Oh, Homesick Pilots. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna confuse it first because look at that cover. It looks really cool, and I love it. Almost looks like it's what are those covers? The cards you can see the picture from different sides. Lenticular. Yeah, it almost looks that way. The way it's drawn.
The way that it's drawn, like it has kind of like the art style kind of reminds me of like Outlaw comics, like from the 90s. The colors are very psychedelic. Especially for certain scenes, and there's a reason, because you get into the story, and I'm gonna sum it up real quick by just giving like brief phrases. Drug addiction, pressures of being in a band, alien prostitutes, demonic cats, Very, very funny, jaded detectives. Transformational sex that technically more like transportational sex, because you get pushed into a whole nother universe and kind of like entrapped. Like this book reminds
Demolition
me
Man?
of like no, I would no. If this was Demolition Man, I would be doing backflips, but I'm only doing like barrel rolls.
I'm thinking like, he's like, you don't touch him, or we just put these devices on. Like,
oh no, you touch. There is fluid transfer in this book. But it's just like, and then there's like also like transcendental existential like states of being. I can't even, it's so hard to describe it, and it should not go together, but this is the closest thing that brings me just like pure joy when I read it, and I'm like laughing and giggling. The next closest thing is Ice Cream Man. This book is crazy, and I like, just find issue 1, find any issue. I don't care if you don't find issue 1 because it's pretty rare. Find any issue, pick it up, flip through it, read it, and then come back and talk to me.
That's what I think about that book. Outrage.
Sounds like I would need to talk to somebody just to unload all my feelings about it. It's like I need a therapy session after.
You need a therapy session and a cold shower.
On that note, if you like trans-dimensional sex, please click and subscribe. And also, please drop $1 in the Ko-Fi bin. It helps us read better books.
and please take a moisty wipe on the way out.
Oh, that book it should be called Acid Trip.
I mean, that's pretty much what it is. It's kind of like an acid trip with like prostitute aliens. It's crazy, but part of it does feel like it feels like you're the one that's on an acid trip as you're reading it. But also, I don't know how they make it make sense, but it completely does. It's not like all the stuff I threw at you for whatever reason. It's not a hard book to like get in and understand. Nope. It's like ABC 1, 2, 3. Like they lay it out plain and simple. It's not super complex. It's just that all the ingredients that you put into it, it's just like, this cake is going to taste terrible. Why am I putting salt and then like flour and then like a military boot and like a toothbrush? Like, why is this going in there? And then you eat it and you're like, it tastes like the best cheesecake I've ever had.
Do me a favor, hold that book back up again. I want to see the cover again.
Oh yeah.
All right. There you go.
Banned.
Oh my goodness.
There's no way that would have been approved by the Comic Code Authority back then. That just sounds crazy. That makes the other book, Hit Me, sound like tame. Very tame.
Oh no, for sure. Like trust me. Like I feel a lot more like sketch reading Heavy Metal Drummer than I do reading Hit Me. Like Hit Me is a Disney movie compared to Heavy Metal Drummer.
All right. I guess we'll go to Zach next. Zach, I want you to top that.
Oh boy, you picked the wrong person to go to. Oh, I'm not going to be getting anywhere close to that. Oh my goodness.
He's like, my books are not about sex. I'm not into that.
Well, starting off, one of my books was a week late, so this came out last week. I was finally able to get it. Immortal Red Sonja, #2. This cover right here. Really fun story. Sonja in the Arthurian legends, how they go together. Really, really neat. This picks up, I like this one better than the first issue. She gets a sword from the lake, not Excalibur. It's another sword. She fights a centaur. She fights the Green Knight. Some really cool stuff going on here. Yeah, I really love she fights the centaur because she's so perplexed at the idea that a guy could be half man, half horse. So she's like, I dismounted my horse. Is that a strange concept to you?
The fact that remember the whole story, it's like, he's trying to warn her. He's King Arthur, the ghost. He's like trying to tell her, it's like, there's a warning. You can't kill living beings with this. She's like, fine, whatever. And then she fights the Green Knight, and he's like, why are they all trying to attack me now? Because you used the sword and you killed a good person.
Yeah, right.
She goes to chuck the sword back in the water. He's like, I don't want this. It keeps popping back in her hand.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, it's a fun little series.
I love it because she's like, I'm double cursed. Like, I gotta wear this stupid chainmail. Stop talking to me. And I got the sword now.
I know. In issue 3, I can't wait to see the cursed horse that she gets to ride.
It's just so great because her character at Sonya, she loves swords. So when she gets a sword that can cut through anything, she's like, oh, I love it. But now she's like, crap, now I can't get rid of this sword.
So next up on the list, kind of towards the bottom of it this week, felt a little like a filler issue. Got Fantastic Four, number 43. This is the Spider-Man variant that they had. Still a good issue. There are some really cool moments in here. Not a lot of the main Fantastic Four gets a spotlight. It centers more on Doctor Doom and the Badoon that are invading the Earth. There's a Badoon that they don't show the battle, but there's a giant Badoon that beats Squirrel Girl in a fight, and he calls her unbeatable or not unbeatable.
You just can't get enough of Slott, can you?
This is the only Dan Slott book that I'm reading, and honestly, I forget that it's Dan Slott half the time, because I enjoy reading it so much.
You're gonna show that book. I gotta do this.
Outrage!
Hey, I do it. There are still some fun moments in here, though. Sue Storm and Doctor Doom have some pretty cool moments in here. But yeah, other than that, the Reckoning War is it's going along. Like I said, not the best issue, but
so
not
what's the name of that variant? That's the what variant?
Son of a gun. It's the Spider-Man variant.
Yes.
There you go.
We skip every time we read Spider-Man. We go, if somebody says the name, we yell yes. That's why Eric Breen's saying
Breen.
Yes in the comments.
This is for you, Breen. I did get some culture this week. I did pick up Fables number 151 from Bill Willingham, one of my favorite comic writers to follow on Twitter with his dad jokes. Now it's a little lower on the list, not because of the quality of the book. It's really well drawn, really well written. I just haven't got caught up to the end of where it left off. So I'm kind of starting brand new. I am skipping ahead. I recognize some of the characters.
Is that skip approved?
Am I approved, Skip? Do I have your permission to skip ahead? Okay.
Twin approval.
Really, really good story though. Really good writing. The character right here on the cover, the Katniss Robin Hood person, Jack in the Green, takes kind of center stage here. Bill Bixby and Snow White also get featured here.
Yeah,
a few other characters.
I saw that Bill Bixby's in there. I almost got it because of that. Because not Bill Bixby, Big B.
Big B, not Bixby.
Yeah. I was like, Bill Bixby's like. I was
thinking Bixby. Oh, because somebody was it Marania said something about Bixby, the Bruce Banner actor.
Yeah. So that's I was like, why are you saying Bixby?
Not Bixby, Big B. You know who
Big Wolf.
The big bad wolf, yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, he gets featured in here. This is the first part of a 12-part story, The Black Forest. But yeah,
I want the other version.
Yeah, off to a good start though. I did enjoy this.
I want Bill Bixby in there.
Next up, I got this cover. I just really love this art style.
That's a good cover.
I dig this. I kind of wish the interior was like this. I know Jerry Ordway did do the interiors. Not trying to tick off all the Jerry Ordway fans.
It's one of the reasons why I didn't get that book, because I was like, oh.
I do like this style though. It's but yeah, the inside story really good, written by James Robinson and drawn by Jerry Ordway. And it does have a very CW vibe. What I mean by that is it's a superhero story, but it feels like it's limited to television type of in the story. Still really good, very character driven. You do see most of the good development. The character that I think I truly cared about after reading this was the Needler, actually, because he's the one that gets the most development. It kind of counts on you. Okay, you've seen Stargirl, you've seen how that character develops, you've seen how Pat Dugan develops. This one you mainly are getting to know the Needler. Really
he
cool
looks like
story.
Crawley. You notice that?
He did kind of look like Crawley.
Did you read it as Crawley?
I did not. I want to go back and reread it as Crawley right now, though.
Crawley, because Christopher Walken.
There was a really cool scene though, where Needler, he's like talking about like the Seven Soldiers and all these other heroes in the Golden Age, and there's this little point where it comes up how old Stripesy is.
Yeah, no, don't tell your mother.
It's like, I was like, that's a good point, because wasn't this supposed to be like 50, 60 years ago, and he still looks the same age? So it's like, I see what you're doing there, DC. That's the nice little clever out there. But yeah, really, really good. Some fun little character cameos they pop in there. Some JSA members they draw in there. Magog is the big villain.
Yeah, it really had the feeling of the show. And then plus James, he also had the feeling of James Robinson Starman. The way he writes it, and Jerry Ordway just captures the art perfectly.
He does do really good with his art. Jerry Ordway, I mean, what can you say? Yeah. He does do really well. Next up on the list, I have World's Finest. It is in the top 3, but it is not the number 1. This issue is still a great issue. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't quite live up to the past 2 issues. It is continuing the story in some really good ways, some fun ways. But something about it. I don't know if it's because now the story is getting scattered across 2 or 3 different threads that you have to follow instead of just 1 or 2. But still really, really well written, though. You have Batman and Superman, starting out there in a hell or a hellish location. Then it goes to Supergirl and Robin for a hot second. Then it goes to the Doom Patrol for another second. Then back to Batman and Superman. All good story threads. But
did you notice when they showed Roboman, he sounded just like the version on the show?
I was thinking he sounded like the Thing.
Oh no, it's just like the way he's like, it's just they're going to climb up this mountain. He's like, and he's got the leather jacket on, so you kind of get him. What's his name?
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser kind of voice. I hear in my head. He's like, "Come on, I don't care. My gears are starting to freeze up. We're going inside. Screw this crap."
Every time I read Robot Man, I just always, for some reason, him and the Thing, I just give them the same voice in my head. They always seem to have that same type of attitude. No, the Thing.
I know.
I feel like they have similar heads. So like the shape of their heads is so similar.
They're in similar situations, like they're stuck in these bodies they don't necessarily want to be in, and it's similar character. And they both seem to talk with I just imagine they both talk with like a Brooklyn accent. I don't know why I think that, but no, still, I mean, like we said earlier, Dan Mora's art is fantastic. The Doom Patrol, Supergirl, Robin, all drawn really well here. Not just Batman and Superman. The banter between the characters is fun. Superman's like, "I keep you around to do the detective work. That's your thing." So, really, really fun book though. It is definitely one of the 2 DC books that's worth being pulled off the stands.
All right,
for sure. Awesome. Number 2 book, I did get the Throg cover, the Sanford Green. I love his art style, so I got the Thor Core variant.
You got
cover.
all Thors on there. Yeah, you got
all of them. You got Storm Thor, you got Beta Ray Bill, Thunderstrike. You do have Jane Foster. I'm sorry for anyone
who's the top one? Is that
Evangeline? That's
Storm?
No, that's Storm.
Oh, Storm. Okay.
Storm Thor. Yeah. And then you got Throg right up there, up close. Main Thor right there. Yeah. I love this cover.
I would have been happy with just having just the main Thor and the Rog. That probably would have been better cover.
No Beta Ray Bill, no Thunderstrike.
I'm not a big Beta Ray Bill fan, and especially when I found out him and Stiff were dating, I was like, wow.
Don't talk to me. Get out of here with that noise. No, I'm just kidding.
There's a reason why he's called Beta. It's not good enough.
He was called Beta Ray Bill back when Beta was a cool word.
Never been a cool word.
Anyway, really, really great story though. Here continues from the Banner of War Alpha. Oddly, and I said this in my Twitter review. Oddly, not a lot of Thor in here. It's mostly a Bruce Banner and Odin story, which I kind of dig because what they did is they explained what happened to Bruce Banner right before the Hulk run starts. They've referred to it as El Paso, so now you get to see actually what happened in El Paso,
and that was really good,
which I thought that was really cool. I also there's like a third contestant that's about to enter the fight. It's not just Hulk and Thor, but you're about to get Iron Man entering the fight now too.
Yes, this is Marania. You should be picking this up because Iron Man's done well in this.
Really good Iron Man little side plot happening here. And of course, in typical Donny Cates fashion, it all connects. There's a suit that he has. There's a plot point, I should say, that he has. It ties back into King in Black. So if you go back there, that's one of the things I do like about Donny Cates is in between his runs, he has all these little things that connect together like jigsaw puzzle
Which one was that? The one with, was it Age of Ultron? Where he had the Hulkbuster armor?
He's had he's had all kinds of Hulkbuster.
No, I mean,
he had a Hulkbuster armor at the beginning of the Hulk run.
In the MCU movie.
In the MCU,
in the movie,
That's what it looks like going to happen here. He's like, because Tony was talking at the Avengers having a meeting, and Cap's like, "You're not really here." He's like, "I'm never here for these meetings." In the empty armor, and he just took off. He's like, Tony.
That was the thing, and I know Eric Breen said a lot. Like since the movies, everybody writes Iron Man like he's Robert Downey Jr. in the movies.
Yeah,
but in this, it worked. I think it actually works out well in this for the sake of the story. It works really well. There's also this fun little one-liner. He says that he's got satellites in space that picked up the Hulk screaming from miles and miles away, and Mr. Fantastic's like, wow, really? You have that? He's like, no, Reed. Odin's ravens told me. And he like looks up. Odin's ravens are just chilling with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's like, he's eating a hot dog. He's like, oh, hey, there's a raven on my shoulder.
lots of fun stuff in this, and you get a really cool Bruce Banner story. There are the 2 additional stories. Like RDV said, the Tom DeFalco one was really good with Enchantress and Odin. That one was a really neat story. The third one, you can skip it. It's unless you've got like little kids, maybe it's like a good little kids bedtime story, but you don't have to read that one. My number 1 book, kind of surprised it wasn't yours, but it is. I got the cover A, Flash 782.
It was my number 2 book because it's technically I had 2 number 1s. I had to choose which one I would want to read again.
This is I would read this one again like right now. This one was great. I love this story. The dynamic that Jeremy Adams has created between Wally and Wallace, or Ace, because he calls him Ace now. Mm-hmm. Really great dynamic where he's like he's a mentor to him, but he's kind of in this unique, like almost like a big brother mentor type of relationship that he's developed between the two. And I really like that. I love the Flash issues where they use science to solve their problem. So of course they're fighting Girder at the beginning of the issue, big guy made of iron. So they're trying to figure out how these 2 normal sized humans are going to move this giant behemoth into prison. So they use magnets, and it's just really fun to see how they do that. I just always love the Flash books where they use science to kind of win. So that was really cool. The stuff with Linda and the kids is also fun. It's got that, Incredibles type of vibe, the family with superpowers and how they use them. Some really neat stuff going on there. And I don't know what else. I'm liking where this is going. I really am. This is probably, if you only get 1 book from DC, this should probably be it. It's a fantastic book. Jeremy Adams knows what he's doing when he's writing these characters. You can tell he loves what he does. The art is also fantastic. The art is nothing to sneeze at either, which is nice. And I'm curious to see where it goes. They name drop. I know one of the things we talked about last time we talked about this book is how Jeremy Adams isn't using like Reverse Flash or Eobard Thawne, but they do name drop another villain of Flash's, one of my personal favorite Flash villains.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see in what way he pops up.
And Jeremy Adams, I don't know if you can see this at all.
He liked my tweet about
he dropped this.
I just saw that about 10 minutes ago. That's from the next issue.
Next issue is going to have pictures of him and Barry, and like their first clipping from when they went against Captain Cold.
Yeah, they do. I think it's a Dark Crisis tie-in. The next
one's supposed to be a Dark Crisis tie-in. So it's because at the end of this one, Wally was called away by the Justice League. Very last minute, so something happened, so he had to go.
Yeah, it leads. Yeah, it seems like it leads right into Dark Crisis. But
and they said, like, having him go, the Warden is running his own secret op thing. He's a corrupt Warden. Mm-hmm. So and he has he basically told him, let's get Snart. Yeah. To solve our problem with the Flash.
Yep. And like you said, they do the stealth suit thing, which is really fun.
It was called back to Young Justice with Wally when they wear this. I mean, he had to put a different suit on, where the Young Justice, he just pushed the button and his suit changed into black, from red, or yellow. But like I said, like this whole run has been. If you're looking for a comic book, you're kind of leery about books getting canceled and stuff, and maybe your book's going into propaganda and all that stuff. Go back to Rebirth Flash, read through Joshua Williamson, and then once you get to Jeremy Adams, it's like, holy crap! It's just, he brings back Wally. Wally is basically done correctly.
I'm sorry. I'm just showing this one. 2-page where Flash, they've got Girder. He's knocked out. Kid Flash goes up to the prison. He's knocking on the security camera and he's like, "Hey, y'all need to open the door so we can let him in." And the guard's like, "Well, where is he? Why do we need to let him in right away?" And just his face right
He's
here
like,
because it was his plan to use magnets. He's like, Flash said yes to my plan. Just
the next page, you go the next page where they show him Wally running.
Yeah, he's got a giant magnet strapped to his back, and he's
like you see, he's pulling the guy. He's like, stop! He's pulling a giant bar, metal bar behind him.
It's just so, I just loved it. It was so
like even
awesome.
the next panel, the next page, they show him he's in the prison, and he's like, what is? How he gets it off, and he's like, he finally gets the piece of metal off, and it flies back into his head, and it knocks him out again. The girder.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right.
He like right there. He's like,
he pulls it off, and then it just hits him.
I got it. It's finally, and it goes slam right back in his face.
It's just so much that the artist does too.
Look,
the way he draws Kid Flash.
Look at Wally. Wally's laughing.
Yeah. The art on this, I mean, we talk about the writer, but the artist does a really top-notch job with this book as well. Definitely deserves some recognition. I know we sing Jeremy Adams praises all the time, but Fernando Passarin and Matt Ryan, they really hit a home run here too.
Ronnie saying, wasn't there a reference to Uncle Wade in the latest Flash?
Uncle
Wally.
Uncle Wally. Yeah, Wally refers to himself as, well, no, because they're cousins, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think he refers to himself as the cousin. There was actually also this really neat story. You find out just kind of, how they are as family. There's, he kind of, gives
he says
kind of a little bit of substance to their bond.
Wallace is a know-it-all, so he's like,
yeah, it's just kind of, you get this kind of, it just adds some kind of layers to their relationship. You get the feeling like, okay, well, they're not just two guys that both adopted the Kid Flash logo. They're a family. You could kind of, add some different layers to that relationship. It's, really, like I said, just really top-notch writing. So, absolutely, that is why this is the #1 book of the week for me.
Nice.
All right. And I think that's it for the night. All right. Thank you for joining us, Skip. For those who are still interested in watching us, who have nowhere else to do tonight, we'll be talking about Frank Miller's Daredevil run next on our Thursday night retrospective. And Skip, I don't know if you've read through the Frank Miller stuff.
I have read through some of it. Which
170 through 172 we're going to be talking about the Kingpin coming back, and Kingpin versus the Devil or Daredevil for the first time, where he goes undercover as Shades.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that issue. We're gonna be talking about that. The supposedly death of Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Yeah, and Daredevil versus Bullseye. So if you want to join us, we're gonna be going live in another couple more minutes. You're more than welcome to join us.
Thank you.
All right. That being said, those were the best books of the week. If you disagree, leave your comments down below. Also, if you're not subscribed, why not? It's free. You're not paying for anything.
That's true. We're not Netflix. We're gonna raise the prices on you.
Right. Yeah. No. And plus, when we can get cool people like Joe Corrala and Skipitosh on here, there's a lot of cool guys. Eric Breen every Thursday night. What more can you ask for? Maybe Wes. I don't know. They get the guy. They get the real retrospective guy. No, I'm just kidding, Brain. I love you.
That's good. That's funny. Oh man.
All right.
He ain't gonna show up now. he's all of a sudden something just came up for him, I'm sure.
More peer pressure from the man. Join us, Skip. Join us.
Oh, Brain.
All right, and Miranda saying Uncle Wade cooking burgers. That's a reference that she's talking about.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh,
I'll have to go back. I read it yesterday, so I'll have to go back and reread it. That part.
I have to go. Yeah, that part just went over my head, I guess.
Wes is a diva.
Don't worry. Wes doesn't watch our channel. We have no ideas to steal.
Yeah.
Wes is definitely the diva of divas, the king of divas.
He's probably sleeping right now.
Yeah, he probably is.
All right, though, guys, that's our show for the night. Thank you for joining in. We'll see you next week.
Later.